I would say followers is key to the strategy for sure.
I think that it's dangerous to be giving advice on things that we're still in the middle of. Well, hey friends, welcome back to the podcast. If you are not watching this on YouTube, I suggest you push pause on the podcast and go over to YouTube because I have a special guest. Hi, baby.
Hello, Mrs. Allwood.
How are you, Mr. Allwood?
I'm good.
We color coordinated. Look, I'm wearing bright yellow.
We matched the little yellow.
You've got yellow in your shirt. We're like Brad and Angelina.
We're like,
or go ahead, Ben and Jennifer.
I don't know.
Jennifer.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I
don't know how you do Jason and Jennifer. Jassifer. I don't know.
Just double J.
Just double J.
Double J.
I'm glad to have you on the podcast today.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yes, it's like a family affair.
You invited me over.
I did. I invited you over, and Easton is filming it for YouTube, and we better make our other kids listen to it. So thanks for joining me. I wanted to talk to you about Fairway Finest.
Let's go.
All right. So for those of you who don't know, my hot husband over here recently teamed up with a dear friend of his. I'll let Jason tell you about it. And they launched a golf apparel company. Did I say a company? A golf apparel company.
It's a company.
It is a company called Fairway Finest, and it's golf apparel. So for those of you who are not in the golfing industry or you don't golf, it's shirts, it's sweatshirts, it's hoodies, and it's hats for people that love golf. So I thought I would bring you on the podcast because we have a lot of women who are in the audience who are going to be either launching products at some point, or they already have launched products at some point, or they wish they could have a boutique or something. And so I thought this could be helpful because we've learned a couple things about products.
We've learned a lot.
Yeah. So, okay. Tell everybody why you decided to do golf. Like, why golf and not soccer?
Well, let's be short and sweet about it. I don't play soccer.
There you go.
Never played soccer. Started in like 2020 when everything shut down.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't do anything. Couldn't go anywhere. Couldn't do anything else except you could play golf.
There you go. Yep.
We couldn't ride together to play golf. We couldn't ride in the same cart together.
Right.
So we had to have our own separate car, blah, blah, all that good stuff. But you were able to be outside.
Can you even believe? I mean, let's just talk about that for a second.
You really want to talk about
why
that?
don't we comply with that crap? Well, I wasn't golfing then, but remember how they wouldn't even let you like touch the.
Yeah, you couldn't touch.
touch the flag.
You couldn't touch the flag.
Oh my gosh.
There was a lot of rules out there.
Insanity. Okay, go ahead.
But a good friend of mine had got golf clubs for Christmas that year and had never really played golf, maybe once or twice. So I was like, hey, we can't do anything else. He's a basketball guy, loved going out and playing basketball like on Friday mornings. That was like his thing. And so he couldn't do that anymore. So he's like, I got to do something. He's not a runner. Wife's a runner. He's not a runner. He doesn't want to work out. I'm like, hey,
you are not making him sound.
Yeah, no, I mean, but it's just
like a well-rounded athlete. Sorry, Jonathan.
He is. I like athlete, you, but dude also can eat like 12 meals a day and never gain any weight.
He's got the metabolism of like a cheetah, and he's like 10 years old.
Yeah. Well, So all those things. So anyway, so I was like, hey, you want to play golf sometime? And he's like, I've never. Like, yeah, I'd love to. So anyways, that's where it started. And so Jonathan likes fashion. I am not afraid of wearing something that's a little different. So, but most of the golf apparel out there at that time was, hate to say boring, but
that's fine. Boring works.
Pretty boring. Like you go to Dick's Sporting Goods, which is our local, like what we have here in Kansas City for sports stuff. Mm-hmm. And I can go find a red, gray, blue, green polo. Yay. Not really a lot of activity. I like something with a little more color, a little more pop, a little more pizzazz. Not afraid to wear pink, not afraid to wear blue, not afraid to wear, flowers or whatever on it. Yeah. So that's kind of how it started.
And so you and Jonathan decided to team up for this. So why team up versus just at you or just at be him? And I think this is good for people who are considering starting a business to know.
And coming from the corporate America side of the world, a lot of policies, procedures, things that need to happen kind of behind the scenes with licenses, business licenses, stuff like that. Jonathan didn't like that. Jonathan is more of the guy who's going to put together the design of the shirts and how they look and stuff like that. I have some say in it. We collaborate on that stuff, but that's not my forte.
Okay. All right. So each of you are bringing something totally different to the table.
Yep.
Both of things which are necessary, like
Right.
the fashion piece of it, but also the business piece of
Yeah.
it. So,
and we stay in our lanes for the most part, but we do talk about things like when we were setting up the company and the organization, we have to go into partnership. We have to get attorneys involved. You have to get people of all these things, different things come together. So we did have communication that side of it. So it wasn't just one-sided. It's kind of like the shirts, he throw design out there and I'm like, I don't know.
That's a stretch even for you. If it's a stretch for you, it's a stretch.
Yeah. So I'm like, it might work. So we have those conversations. Okay. So whoever you're going to partner with, I would say, just, I guess, like our conversations, right? Sometimes you got to have a hot conversation, honest, open, and transparent. You can't get your feelings hurt about stuff.
I get my feelings hurt. I'm just kidding.
What do you get your feelings hurt about?
You always say I'm dead inside. Do you think I have feelings?
Some days you don't, but it's like Jonathan.
I know. What's funny is I'm an Enneagram 3, and if you don't like the Enneagram, that's fine. Fast forward 10 seconds. And his business partner is an Enneagram 3. So both basically your best friend and your wife are both dead inside, is what he says.
Yeah, there's not a lot of emotion.
There isn't a lot of emotion. We do what needs to be done.
But what's so funny about that is, so just to get in the Enneagram thing, so I am an 8.
Do you know an 8? Yes, because God has surrounded me with 8s. He's making me raise an 8 in Ava. He's making me be married to an 8. Several of my closest friends are 8s.
And Jonathan's the same way. So everybody, all the new people that come in Jonathan's world are like 8s, and he's like, I
know. I told Lisa Bevere one time, I said, because Lisa is precious to me, as you guys know, and she's an 8. And then my friend like Blake, the girl named Blake, she's an 8. And it's like God keeps surrounding me with all these 8s, and I think it's just to make me braver. So anyway, but okay, so you and Jonathan started working on this 2 full years ago.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah.
Okay, and so would you say that the most stressful, hardest part was finding a manufacturer? Is that an accurate statement?
Yes, and still working on it to this day.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you want to tell them a little bit about that? Like, for somebody who is looking to go into an apparel business, why is the manufacturing piece of this really difficult?
It's difficult in the fact that, so the process that is used for the shirt that we're using is because of the material we're using. We're using a polyester spandex blend. So it does have stretch on it. There's some UV protection in there. There is some things in there that you have to do.
Can I tell the girls what you're meaning?
Yeah.
Okay. So ladies, basically, if you or your husband are golfers, if you're a golfer, you know what all this means. If you're not a golfer, which I'm a golfer, Jason's a golfer. It basically means that it has enough stretch so that it's comfortable, but not so much stretch that it's not going to be good. It has enough like wicking or whatever in it, so it tries to keep you a little bit cool. And for us super pale people, it's got a little bit of protection against getting fried when you're out on the golf course. Right. All those things.
So it has all those things in there. So if somebody is, wears an extra large and they are super ginormous in the arms, it's going to stretch with you, but it's still not going to lose its fade or color on there. So it does, the process helps in that, keeps your color and stuff like that. So what they say is that the color is not supposed to fade ever. And how the product is produced, it's called dye sublimation. So basically it's a heat transfer of color onto the shirt. The product is actually white when it starts off with, and then it's heat pressed in there and then hand sewn or sewn at that point in time.
Did you know what all this stuff was before you started this?
Zero idea.
I know.
I thought
you're like, this is a good looking polo.
Yeah,
let me buy it.
I thought, well, hey, Ralph Lauren can make a polo. Why can't I?
Exactly.
No, anyways, but so we've had to learn a lot. And the manufacturing side of it is that we thought we had a local manufacturer here in Kansas City. It was going to be fantastic. He was literally like 20 minutes away from us.
Yeah.
Went down there, met with them. We ordered product from them, and the product was just did not meet our standards. Yeah. So that was strike one. And then so Jason got home and got on the interweb and started Googling and searching and stuff like that for dye sublimation places, and found a couple more. I've dealt with companies in New York. I've dealt with companies in Ohio. I've dealt with companies. They're all based, for the most part, I feel like they're all based in the United States, but the manufacturing is done somewhere else.
Right. It's really complicated.
It is. It's
and
like
can I add something about the United States stuff? Like, there's a couple of brands that I follow on the interwebs, as you said, people that I tell you about that, have products and stuff. And, many of them are patriotic and we love USA types of things. And one of the things that a couple of them, say is that it's made in the USA. Turns out having things made in the USA is very difficult to do, number one,
Yes.
and very expensive.
Mhm.
Accurate.
100% accurate.
Did I just say everything that needed to be said?
No, no, not at all. So with that being said, is though there's also, because of I'm dealing with a person here in the United States, I have a relationship with them. Their manufacturing is overseas in China or Indonesia or Peru or wherever it may be. Sometimes there's a language barrier there.
Yep.
They've dealt with these people, and it comes down to like a quality assurance type of thing, that what we found out, because we've ordered product from so many different companies that I can't sell on the open market, because I got some in one time from a company and it literally looked like they had poured Kool-Aid on it. Like there were stains on the shirt from the manufacturing.
Did I see those? Did you trash them?
No, I didn't trash them. I actually tried to wash them to see if they could even
salvage them.
They're salvageable, just so I could wear them,
Right.
so I could at least see how they fit, feel, and everything else. So that's the other thing, is every company. We had this conversation earlier. You were talking about something you bought from, I don't know where, and you were talking about something from the Gap, whatever else, and you were like, this one fits and this one doesn't fit, whatever else. So everything is different. So all these different
The
manufacturers,
consistency.
I get a extra large shirt in and it fits like a dress, where I get a large in and it fits like a small. So every company is different in their sizing, how they do things, how they manufacture and stuff like that. So I have so many samples from different companies that we've tried, and then anyway, so it's been a lot.
This has been an interesting piece to watch, just because it also is not a timely process.
No,
which I think is important for people to know also. So it's not like you take a print that you want, you order samples, and you do that on Monday and you get them on Thursday.
Right.
It's like a stretched out process where, I mean, sometimes it's taking 6 weeks to 2 months, isn't it? Just to get samples.
Yeah.
And then after that, you have to start thinking, okay, if that's how much time it takes to produce samples, is that going to be the same amount of time it's going to take to actually produce the product?
Produce the order that we would have to fulfill. And we're not ordering large amounts right now, because we're a startup. So I'm talking, a couple hundred polos to get in. We did a run of a couple hundred sweatshirts and stuff like that we've done, and hats and stuff like that we've done on there. And the hats and the sweatshirts are way different than the polos by a long shot.
Yeah.
The process for these is, if it's 4 weeks to get a sample in, you might as well figure 6 to 8 weeks to get a full order in, if not longer.
Yeah. And so the manufacturing, I think, industry has just a really long way to go. I kind of feel about the manufacturing industry, though, like I feel about the restaurant industry now that COVID's hit. So, since COVID hit. So it's almost like if you go to a restaurant, you can just expect everybody's going to say we're understaffed, and, quality is different than it used to be. And it's just kind of, this is what we've kind of gotten used to now, as this is just the industry. And I almost feel like the manufacturing industry is like that. It's like, this is just kind of what's the norm.
Yeah.
And so what's super interesting about that is for people that actually can do what they say they're going to do, get things to you in a timely manner, not charge you $9 million just for samples, actually communicate with you and send an email back in less than like 4 days. Cause I know that's been a hot spot for you too, that people just take forever to communicate. Like if you're in the manufacturing business and you can just do the basics, like you have the opportunity really to kind of raise up in that industry, I think.
Yeah. Oh, you 100% could, but we have POs out there that we have placed with companies, for shirts that we literally forgot we ordered, because it took so long for them to actually come into our possession. Like and that's sad. That's super sad, because I'm like
me on my Amazon orders.
Well, right. Because I stopped dealing with the company because they wouldn't return a phone call, an email, or a text message. And I'm talking about, these are what they're telling me is this is the owner of the company that I'm talking to.
Right.
And so I'm talking to these people, and then all of a sudden they basically ghost me.
Yeah.
And never return a phone call. And then all of a sudden I get this product shows up at my house. I'm like,
what is this?
Yeah. What company is this from?
Jen, what'd you order?
Yeah. Or it goes to Jonathan's house and he's like, what do you order? So yeah.
And I feel like this almost is the same in the service-based industry for those of you that own service-based companies right now. Like just for remodeling, let's take that industry, for instance. People are just frustrated that people just don't do the very basics of just returning phone calls, returning emails, showing up when they say they're going to show up, et cetera, which is super frustrating. But let's get back to Fairway Finest. Okay. So what's the thing that you think sets Fairway Finest apart from other golf apparel brands right now?
Well, I think we're not basic. I think we've done
maybe you're anything but basic.
well, and I appreciate that. But I also think though that Jonathan and I have kind of we've rejected a lot of stuff that's been thrown at us too, because we care about the quality and the consistency of the product. If I'm not gonna, in the restaurant world where I came from was, if you wouldn't serve it to your mother, then you wouldn't serve it to a customer, right? I guess our philosophy is, if we wouldn't wear it ourselves, then I'm not gonna put it out there for somebody to buy.
Yeah.
Like I'm not just gonna put a blue polo out there because I'm not rocking a blue polo. It's not happening. But so we
wait, you're not rocking a blue polo, you're wearing a blue polo.
This is not solid blue, honey. This has flowers on it with 4 different colors on it, of blue and white and yellow. And
okay, and so tell people now, if they go to your website, if they go to fairwayfinest.com, there's 2 polos that you're calling the blues.
There's 2 polos that we have out there now. We have the blues and we have this flower print on there. So there are 2 that we have, a couple that we've sold out on. We've gotten feedback on there, so I know some of the things we've gotten back is sizing and stuff like that, which was we fumbled on.
Tell them what the fumble is, because that'll help somebody else not fumble.
Let me help you out here. Let me ask my wife, what's an audible?
Oh yeah, I should know this. Okay, don't tell me what's an audible. A redo?
No.
A play it back?
No. So an audible is like just
a shift.
A change of plan. Yeah.
Yes, change of plan.
Yeah.
Okay.
So change in plan, right?
All right?
So we're watching the quarterback show on Netflix.
On Netflix. Now. What is it actually called? We did 2 episodes last night.
Yeah,
okay. It's actually, ladies, even if you're not into football, which I'm not, it's actually really good. It's fascinating. It's really less about football and more about
mindset
or the life of football.
And the life of a quarterback.
Okay, so go ahead. Back to the audible.
Anyway, so back to the fumble. Fumble is when you have the football in your hands and you drop it. And so we decided that Jonathan and I looked at this, we're like, well, this is the sizes we need. We need small, medium, large, extra large. That's what everybody carries, right?
And you were thinking I wear extra large, and Jonathan wears a
medium or large, depending on the shirt. Yeah.
A schmedium.
He can, it just depends on the cut and whatever else. So he's between a medium and a large. And I wear extra large pretty much everything. I'm a 200 pound, 6 foot tall guy. So I thought that's what we need, right? The feedback we've gotten is that we needed larger sizes.
Right. Where's your
double XL and triple XL? And guess what? You don't need smalls.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so we have had some challenges in that because we didn't know.
Yeah.
And no one was there. There's not a book out that says, what a 101, start your own company. Yeah. So we were like, okay, so now we have to kind of readdress and reevaluate some things too.
The 2 that are, you've got 2 more polos that are getting ready to come in, right? And those will have double XLs.
Yes,
and triple. Will they have triple XL as well?
Okay. Yeah, we've realized we're not going to do smalls anymore. Okay. Maybe if I could get the arms cut off of it and cut the collar off of it and make it a girl's shirt for the smalls. I don't know, or give it to Ava. I don't know, but we've got a few.
Can we brag on Ava real quick?
Oh, hang on.
Okay. Because and what's funny is there are a couple of high school students that do listen to my podcast. Oddly enough, thank you, high school students. But Ava baby made the varsity golf team for her high school. So we got a good little golfer on our hands. So we'll just brag on her for a second.
Okay.
So yeah. Can I say that?
You can say whatever you want to say. It's your podcast.
All right.
Well,
I'm saying it. She's a good little golfer.
She is a good little golfer.
Yep.
But she's for the parents who have athletes out there and athletes and stuff like that out there. We tried a lot of sports with Ava.
Yep.
So everything from softball to taekwondo,
horseback riding,
yeah,
soccer,
all that stuff.
Yeah.
But when COVID hit, I made a conscious effort to take all 3 kids to the golf course to get lessons, not from dad, definitely not from dad. Not the patience.
And that was important to me though, too, because when I was in 6th grade, my parents made all of us kids when we hit 6th grade, take golf lessons. And I was like, golf. And then I ended up golfing all through high school. It was all conference as a senior on the golf team. And it's a really good life skill to have.
It is a good life skill to have.
Yes.
What they've come back and told us is that all 3 of them have thanked us for forcing them to learn how to play golf.
Yep.
And 2 of them have said, I wish you would have maybe take piano more.
Piano.
Ava was taking piano, and so did Noah.
Yeah.
Easton taught himself how to play piano. He never took lessons, but
are you talking about like 3 Blind Mice or an actual
whatever
song?
they did. Yeah, I mean, whatever, but at least get the chords on it. So we tried a lot of stuff, but we forced them to do it. And then coming back, all 3 kids
have been
enjoy it.
Yeah.
And they've also said, thank you for making us take those lessons.
Yeah.
So
okay. So tell people
that's not
about
Fairway Finest.
That's all right.
Just about parenting.
But
We should do a podcast about that sometime. You want to?
No, because I have this. Okay, so here's why I don't want to do a podcast on parenting. Do you want to know why? Because we're still in the thick of it.
Yeah. Or marriage. What should we do on marriage?
I think we can do it on marriage.
Not happening.
We have 26 years of marriage under our belt.
How many of them are good?
23-ish, maybe. So it's the people that have been married like 2 years, like 4 years. I'm like, come back to me when you hit 10. Yeah. Come back to me when you hit 20. No offense, but you got to have a little road underneath your feet here. And so I think that it's dangerous to be giving advice on things that we're still in the middle of, because we don't know if our style of parenting or what we've done as parents is actually going to, it's not to be successful, but we have no idea how our kids are going to actually end up. Does that make sense?
At a certain point in time, yeah.
I was watching this lady,
and it's that's on us.
I was watching this lady on Instagram a while back, and she has a 1-year-old and was giving parenting advice. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I mean, no offense, but you have a 1-year-old. You are still so in the beginning stages. It's so easy to say what you will or won't do as a parent when you have a 1-year-old.
They can't talk yet.
And I certainly don't talk back. So anyhow, so no to the marriage. But
all right, so bring it back.
Bring it back. Okay, this is our life right here. Just getting distracted. What do you have coming out with Fairway Finest next? It's 2 of them that are what color? I know. So
I have what we're looking at is I have a green base with like pink, almost looks like it's a polka dot, but it's kind of a paint spatter polka dot. So it's not like super crisp polka dot. It's not real crisp polka dot. I'm looking at that one. And we're looking at a different material with that one also, because it is getting cooler out also. And it is a color they're calling cotton blend, but it is a polyester spandex, but it feels like it's a cotton.
None of these people are going to care. All they want to know is their husband going to look hot in this polo? Oh yeah, it's good looking polo. Okay, there you go. Looking polo. But don't you have a pink one coming too? We have multiple ones on the side. We have a leopard print one that we've looked at that is gray with pink in there. And I love that one. I love that print. And it has a little bit of white and black in there. So you could pretty much wear any color with it. We also have one that I call it like peach sunrise. So I don't know what Jonathan calls it, but it's kind of white and peach looking. So it's not overly top pink. So if your husband doesn't wear pink, that one it'll suffice. Yeah, we're looking at that one. And then the last one we're looking at is a kind of a burgundy base with a peach or a pink colorful design on it that Jonathan came up with. Okay. So so we're looking at options for sure. And definitely different sizes. And all of those should be in stock in I would hope the next 6 to 8 weeks. Okay, perfect. Yeah. Awesome. Just in time for all the fall golf. Just in time for fall golf for Christmas. For Christmas gifts. And what's been interesting to me is that people have been buying your sweatshirts. Oh yeah. And they've been buying them for their kids to like wear at high school and stuff, like for their high school age kids, which I think is really, really cool. And you have a bunch of fall colored hoodies and things already. So we've got a few different colors and hoodies and a couple crew necks also, a few different crew necks also. So, and they're just a good thing, embroidered fox on the front of it, and they have a Fairway Finest on the sleeve also. So it's not over the top. I'm not huge on I'm not gonna wear something that says like FUBU or Tommy Hilfiger going across it in the back and down the arm and everything else is not even. Do you remember that one time? Oh, no, so I used to get you like American Eagle clothes, and it would be like American Eagle, and you're like, Jen, I don't like stuff with like huge words across it. But one time I bought you a polo and didn't have like a huge polo bear, or something. Yeah, you hate that. Yeah, you're loud in your print and color, and you're soft on your branding. Yeah, I don't want my brand to be in your face. But I do remember the time you wore that. You bought the polo bear shirt, and you bought me the Scotty Dog tie with it when I was in corporate America. Good night. I thought that the Scotty Dog tie was kind of like edgy. I think it was the same year you got me for a stocking stuffer with sticking shampoo for my hair. How'd that work out? Hey. Okay, listen, in my defense, you had been complaining that your hair was thinning. And so I heard those words and I thought to myself, how can I make him feel better about his thinning hair? Let me buy him thickening shampoo. I'm so sorry. I learned so much about marriage in 26 years. Oh my gosh. Okay, back to Fairway Finest real quick. This is a funny podcast in addition to talking about golf. Okay.
Okay.
So people can go to fairwayfinest.com and
Yep.
they can buy your products there.
Buy the products are there. We do have an Instagram page. We do have a Facebook page. I am not on social media yet, but I have this sneaking suspicion that my day is coming to the end of I can't say I'm not on social media more because I need to get on there so I know what's going on and happening on our own.
It's so funny. Your wife teaches social media and you're like actually, I love that you're anti-social media.
It's not even anti-social media. I enjoy looking. My wife sends me stuff all the time to look at and stuff like that.
But
I just don't have an account.
This is why I love it about you, because I've told different people, since you're not on social media, like you're one of the freest people I know. Like your family has your undivided attention
for the most part.
You're not sitting in bed at night and scrolling on your phone instead of.
What did we learn the other night? What did we learn the other night?
What did we learn?
If I'm scrolling, looking at Google or something has my interest, what did you tell me? I don't.
You can't. This is going to make me sound terrible.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's just the honest.
Well, so after we've been married almost 26 and together almost 28, and so I have figured out I don't like anything to have your undivided attention except me.
That's what she said.
That's what I said.
She said it tongue in cheek, but she was like, "What are you looking at?"
And I'm like, I don't think I like you. Look, anything having your attention more than your attention is on me.
I was reading an article about something I'm sure that was
riveting. Riveting.
Unnecessary.
Conspiracy theory.
Whatever it was.
The majority of the time, I do.
It was about corn sweat.
I do have your. Oh my gosh! Don't start it, you guys. Just side note here, real quick. If you are hearing them talk about why we have so much dang humidity in the Midwest right now, and they're blaming it on corn sweat like they are in Kansas City, that is a bunch of garbage. Okay, listen to me. Can I just have 30 seconds to just rant? Listen, Linda.
Listen.
I was raised in Iowa. Okay. My house was the last house on the street before the cornfield started. So imagine like Children of the Corn. The movie Children of the Corn was filmed 20 minutes from my house. I'm getting so uptight right now that I'm like slurring my words. Yeah. 20 minutes from my house is where Children of the Corn was filmed. I live next to a cornfield. Both of my grandparents are farmers. Okay. Every year in the fall, we would get sweet corn and we would go to my aunt Sandy's house and we would cut the sweet corn off the cob and we would freeze it. We'd have all the sweet corn for, meals. I love corn. How much do I love corn?
It's a staple.
It's a staple. And I know that you're not supposed to eat corn because corn is what they feed hogs and hogs get fat. But my cousin Crystal told me that once. But corn is one of my all-time favorite foods.
Corn and I'm telling you.
Yes, it is. I'm telling you, corn sweats. I'm not believing it. I don't care if you want to send me a DM, you want to comment below. It's a bunch of crap. You can ask 99% of every farmer has never heard of corn sweats. I don't know what the heck they're talking about. So the humidity is not based on corn sweats.
I will tell you this is that I had the meat sweats yesterday because yesterday I had lunch.
I don't understand.
At a barbecue place
with me.
Oh yeah, man.
And you and Easton were talking about meat sweats. I'm like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
People sweat when they eat barbecue. That's so weird.
Funny.
Okay. Back around, bringing it back around.
Bring it back.
So if somebody is looking at starting their own apparel company, whether it's golf apparel or whether it's a clothing boutique or whether it's any thoughts that you have that like things that you look back at now and you're like, you know what, I wish somebody had told me this. It would have made this journey a little easier.
I wish somebody would have told me that it's hard, that it's not easy, that it takes time,
a lot of time. Mm-hmm.
And you really have to inspect what you expect a lot because people just don't follow through with things.
Yeah.
I would say probably one of the biggest things you can do is, which I know my wife preaches all the time about, is get followers.
Yeah.
Get followers.
People on your email list.
People on email list.
If people want to be on your email list, so they know when your new designs come out, they can go to fairwayfinest.com.
Fairwayfinest.com. You can sign up for that. Yep. There's a thing on there. You can get all the information on there. But I would say followers is key to the strategy for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Having a good website that you have looked over time and time again.
Yep.
And don't hit the publish button too soon on it. Learning from our mistakes, I think we did, but it's here nor there. It's out there now.
Yeah.
But we had to, adjust a lot of things at the second and third and fourth, fifth day.
Yeah. When the site was live.
Yeah. When it was live and stuff like that.
And then the other side of that though, is, I totally know what you're saying, but the other side of that is sometimes people won't ever push publish because they're wanting to keep making it perfect and keep making it perfect. And then before you know, 6 months have gone by. So I'm really proud of you guys.
I would say have a target date in mind.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
And stick to that target date in mind. Ours was going to be published by Father's Day. So we were close to it. So that was our target date. I would say what I did was I spent the money on great pictures for the website. We spent money on,
and I think that was worthwhile, don't you?
I think that was worthwhile, 100%.
100%.
I think that we also spent some money on some film for, just having us activity B-roll out there, it actually in the product and stuff like that. We hired a buddy. We gave him a shirt so he would come out and play golf with us basically. And, and just so we had some different things out there.
Yeah.
So we've done that stuff. So I would think that those things are super important. Target date, spend the money on pictures. If you're doing apparel and it's not just going to be selling something on Target or not Target on Amazon for $12, I mean, do the research and find out a good quality, what you're looking for, what you want to sell, not just something that you can just throw out there. And
you guys are proud of what you're doing. And
for sure.
And I'm super proud of you.
For sure.
Awesome. All right. Any last thoughts? Now that everybody knows how I feel about corn sweats and meat sweats and parenting advice. Go follow them on Instagram. I know that. Go see Fairway Finest on Instagram. You've got some great, if you want to see somebody doing a great job of reels, I've got a ton of reels out there.
Yeah.
You can go sign up for his emails at fairwayfinest.com. Go buy the golfer in your life, a shirt or a sweatshirt or a hat, if you would. And I'm proud of you, baby.
The hats are good. The sweatshirts are great. The polos are great. I love.
Amazing. Look at it. Look at how handsome you are. This is obviously one of his shirts.
I'm biased. I like it all. So.
All right. Thank you guys for being here today.
Thank you.
Appreciate you so much. And even if you are not somebody who's starting an apparel company of any kind, hopefully you got something of value out of the podcast, and share this with some of the other people in your world. If you know somebody that's a golfer, share it with them. We appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.